This one here is Anders Ericsson. He's a professor at, I believe it's Princeton University, but the university is relevant. But what he is researching is human performance. And this gentleman here is Malcolm Gladwell. And he wrote a book called The Outliers. What's interesting about The Outliers was that he had at his central theme of the book a concept that Anders Ericsson had proposed, which was, if you want to be good at something, do it for 10,000 hours. So millions of people all over the world grab that, this is my calculator, grab that calculator, okay? All right, if I do this 5 hours a day, I will be an expert in July 2027. Cool. All right, I could do it 8 hours a day, and then I'll be an expert by 2025. It seemed pretty good to argue that in order to become an expert at something, you have to do it for 10,000 hours. However, I've now been driving for better part of 35 years of my life, and according to my ex-wife, I'm the worst driver in the world. I'm simply incapable of reverse parking, apparently. And when we were together, she used to say that when I reverse parked, she would call a taxi to transport herself from the car into the curb. I always thought that was a little bit insulting, but nevertheless also quite funny. So, clearly a proof that even though I've been driving for 10,000 hours, I wasn't actually a particularly good driver. What Anders Ericsson actually said goes against what Malcolm Gladwell portrayed in the book. Anders Ericsson did try and contact Malcolm Gladwell's team and say, hey, it's not exactly what I said. I didn't say that if you do something for 10,000 hours, you become an expert. What we came up with during our research, which was research into top performers, it could be athletes, it could be musicians, violinists, cello, piano, etc., was that in order to build the neural pathways of our minds that will make you accomplish greatness is by setting you tasks until the point where that task is complete, at which point your mentor will give you a new task. You rehearsing 10,000 hours, it might make you an expert in Vivaldi's Four Seasons, but it does not make you an expert violinist. But if you get assigned a problem to solve, and your mind goes to work in solving it, and when it's solved you get a new problem, then you will develop expertise. That is the pathway to expertise. So I'm saying, well, is the pathway to trading expertise not beyond just looking at moving averages and Bollinger Bands and trend lines, and we actually solve a specific task such as, how do I trade the euro-yen from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.? How do I deal with the FTSE if the second bar goes above the high of the first bar but doesn't close above it? Let me see a sample of 3,000 charts